Hi there. So I want to talk about a project, a small project that I've worked on. I've wrote a blog post about it as well. The main reason behind this project is it's nothing special, but I've been struggling to come up with kind of fun ideas to like kind of fun side projects to work on since I've started working as a software developer, because a lot of that energy coding is used up at work. But I still think it's a good idea just to, I don't know, express a bit of creativity, do something a bit different, and learn some new tools along the way. And that's kind of what I want to achieve. And even though I probably didn't achieve it with this particular project, I was still the kind of scratching that creativity itch. So I'll just run through some of the key features and things I learned about with this project. But firstly, I want to explain like the kind of the motivation behind this project. So I attend a studio, and at that studio you have teachers, students, and different classes. And I was intrigued at how the manager and the studio owner had to come up with a kind of an optimum timetable for, one, making sure the teachers could teach at those times, and two, because of the different classes, because you've got different levels, different types of classes, you need to be able to kind of suit the students that go the best times that they will be available to go. So you've got to account for, I guess, two things. Availability of the teachers and the popularity of that time for the types of students that want to go to that class. I believe that's like an NP hard problem, a really difficult problem to solve. So I didn't end up going the route of solving that problem. I thought it was interesting how they were coming up with the timetable. Like basically it'll be the person's, the manager's house, they'll have like a post-it note. This is what they told me. They had post-it notes of where they'll put like the students and where they'll put the classes. So I thought, hey, why not create like a digital version of this? And that's where this idea of the project timetable or the timetable project came up. So what did I use? I used SvelteKit, hosted on Cloudflare Pages. And at the time, I wasn't familiar with Svelte 5s. At work, I used Svelte 4. So I talk about upgrading in another blog post and another video preceding this. But I want to learn some new tools like Svelte 5, getting more familiar with Svelte 5. I wanted to get more familiar with kind of running a really client-side heavy application versus what I'm used to at work, which is really static site rendering, server-side rendering, or trying to reduce as much JavaScript on the DOM or on the client as possible. Another package I wanted to look at was Svelte D&D by the UX HQ. So I'll bring the GitHub here. Oh, wrong one. So this is their GitHub here from Svelte D&D. So I think it's a pretty cool library. I had fun working with it. I think there's many other drag and drop libraries as well, but quite easy to use. I also wanted to learn how to use Storybook as well. So Storybook is basically they call it a front end workshop. So basically it allows you to, and I'll demo all of this. They basically allow you to create components or your front end components in isolation. You can test different states. So an example in the video I have here is you got your different icons that you can play around with. Like if you've got an icon component, you've got buttons with different values, so you can look at the widths of those. What I'll do is I'll give you a bit of a demonstration of the application. So here it is here. Some features include, if you refresh the page, the colors change, the colors are all seeded. If I create a class here, so Monday 9 a.m, we can just call it Flex, for example. It'll create a Flex there, and let's say you wanted to create another type of class, like say level 1. You could have level 2, for example, and you can see they've got different colors. And if you were to create a class with the same name, it will inherit the same color. It's using the name as like a hash to generate that particular color as a hue, and then print the color like so. And you can see if I move this around, you can drag and drop. You can drop into like the same day, like we've done here. And I think this is broken, but I can't delete for some reason. Like that's just broken unless I press enter. So if I focus the delete button and enter, then it deletes. This is basically using the HTML popovers, nothing special there. There could be some improvements made, but I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. Certain things I sort of consider was what happens if there's like multiple. Like if this gets too big, for example, you'll have to horizontally scroll it. There's like a little icon here to sort of indicate there's more than 2 here, little circle there. the hover as well, hovering as well. So this is pretty simple, I think. And up here, it stores the current state of the table in a base 64 string. So if I were to copy this and open up a new tab and paste it here, it should give me the current state here. If I change this around, you can see the color also changes because there's a refresh on the page. And if I were to come back here, copy this again, and paste it, it'll be this current, the current state of it here. And you still got the state here. So if I copy this, paste this somewhere else, I'm just highlighting that you get that particular that state again. So if I close these, so essentially that's really it. Nothing too special. So you can imagine if you're working and you're wanting to, instead of using post-it notes, you can create your classes and then move them around to find the most optimum setup. I did end up sharing this with them, but it was something that was interesting, but wouldn't be used because apparently this is the easiest part. Is just the post-it note. The hardest part is actually doing obviously trying to find the optimum timetable, which I believe is like difficult to NPM hard, like I said. Potentially heuristics, yeah. So I did actually look into it. I tried creating a little program where I'd create students and teachers and just go through like different iterations of a timetable, but I never ended up getting into it that deeply. I really wanted to build this. Yeah, some potential improvements. Obviously there's a bug with the deletion. I don't know why it's not working anymore. But yeah, it's something I was looking into was maybe a floating UI. So when you create a day, it's quite difficult because the popover is in the center. It'd be nice if the popover was anchored with the day. That'll make it a lot easier. And that's really it. Like I'm not too fussed. I'm pretty happy with how this came out. It kind of solved the issue for me, just scratching that itch. And it was a very minimal project, like from start to finish. I got some sort of minimal viable product that I can show people, rather than working on a project because I got so many half created projects that you can't even show people. So I'm pretty happy with this, and I think I'll just leave it up. I'll continue working on it, maybe doing some small changes, maybe introducing things like PNPM, for example, instead of using NPM, using PNPM as a package manager for this project, floating UI. Testing certain things. There's even like a Zod validator for the name. So I think if I write a name that's too long, there's HTML validation, I think. But if I turn it off, I inspect, and if I turn off the max length, if I make it 40, it should allow. If I go enter, it won't work. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. Cool, so I hope you found this useful. I hope it's inspired you to work on a project on your own. See, this is what I'm going to make it bigger as well, just as an idea. But yeah, I hope this inspires you to make your own project, and let me know what you think.